Hey, welcome back to the top, where analysis is the name of the game. Now today we have another Pokemon to try to fix, but this time it's deep in the tiers. It ain't no borderline knight, or whatever Joey Pokane calls it. No, this Pokemon is actually thematic with today's date. I wonder what it could be.
I've already seen the thumbnail.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Since I'm making these before this is a main series, I went ahead and chose this one myself. Mainly because it's the 4th of July, but still, one of my favorite Pokemon needs a new identity. But if you have any suggestions for next time, leave them in the comment section below. More than likely the next time I set up one of these videos, I'll be taking recommendations from the Weavile video last month, so give it a few before these suggestions will show up. Who knows, maybe I'll start to double up on these videos. Enough rambling though, let's get to fixing Braviary, celebrating America's birthday, blowing shit up, and getting drunk, except I'll only do the first two. Braviary hasn't been treated nicely since its debut, where it only peaked as high as rarely used back in Generation 6. But how can this majestic eagle be chained down for so many years? Simple. Something is holding it back. It's already powerful in its own right, so we want to be careful not to go overboard. But something still needs to be done. Unfortunately, again, as of the writing of this script, Smogon has not updated its page for Generation 8, so this overview may be a bit outdated. But let's see what we got. Braviary can effectively perform the role of a wall breaker or late-game sweeper thanks to its access to utility moves like Bulk Up and Roost, above average bulk, and great attack. In addition, its great coverage between just Brave Bird and Superpower leaves it walled by very few Pokemon, meaning it can be very difficult to answer defensively. Braviary can also provide great support for its team, since its ability Defiant dissuades and punishes the use of Defog. Unfortunately, bulk up variants of Braviary are easy to check defensively, with Pokemon such as Rhydon and Steelix, and rely on moves that cut into their longevity, leaving them more easily revenge killed. Braviary also deals with the weakness of Stealth Rock, limiting the number of turns it can safely switch in before having to recover with Roost, and thus providing the foe with a free turn. Faster offensive Pokemon like Heliolisk and Mega Glalie also give Braviary problems, as they can easily take advantage of Braviary's lesser speed and OHKO it. Even they know the power of Braviary, and this really shines a light on what the true issues are. But how do we do this without tipping the scales too far? Well, let's read this closer. Faster offensive Pokemon like Heliolisk and Mega Glalie also give Braviary problems, as they can easily take advantage of Braviary's lesser speed and OHKO it. That's the first thing that stands out to me, and probably the main focal point of most of these videos. But the point is that Braviary is too slow to take advantage of its massive 123 physical attack. Sure, it's got decent bulk with base 100 HP, but that isn't going to matter with base 75 in both defense stats. It's not just going to survive that long. So you either have to pack Roost, which is kind of a waste of a move slot, or just Choice Scarf it. But I have a better idea. Obvious choice is obvious, but we're going to start with Braviary's stats. But not too much, otherwise it might tread closer to being a discount Staraptor, causing it to be outclassed. The base defense is increased from 75 to 85. Base speed increased from 80 to 90. I don't see this breaking Braviary in the slightest, since 90 base speed isn't noteworthy. But it should help break the better speed tier, since 90 speed tends to be a median stat total. The base 85 defense, combined with the already great base 100 HP, will do great against physically oriented Pokemon. It's an eagle. I feel like it would be better defensively while not buffing its special defense, but something is still wrong. I can't put my finger on it. Unfortunately, bulk up variants of Braviary are easy to check defensively, with Pokemon such as Rhydon and Steelix, and rely on moves that cut into their longevity, leaving them more easily revenge killed. Braviary also deals with the weakness of Stealth Rock, limiting the number of turns it can safely switch in before having to recover with Roost, and thus providing the foe with a free turn. Well, yeah, actually in this state, I just look at Braviary and still see a worse Staraptor. Other than access to Rock Slide, Staraptor gets a lot of the same coverage as Braviary, but hits harder than it. So knowing that, we need to carve out a niche to separate the two so Braviary can have its own uses instead of being stuck in the shadows of another bird. I focused in on the moveset between the two, and that's where the problem lies. Abilities are as well, but to a lesser extent. Braviary shares a lot of coverage with Staraptor, mainly the fighting type, while Staraptor excels better with the flying and normal type stab moves. I mean, Braviary does get access to psychic coverages and headbutt too, steel coverage with Iron Head, and the aforementioned rock coverage with Rock Slide, but you're probably not going to tack those onto its moveset, as that starts intruding on a 4 move slot syndrome. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any moves that really fit a niche it could fill. Well, that is until I ran into the signature move of Toucan, Beak Blast. This is a long shot reason, but it's an American bird. At least the internet thinks of it that way. So I was looking for something fire type based when I ran into Beak Blast. I looked at the description of the move, and nothing was mentioned about a Toucan based reason for the attack to be a signature move. Braviary is slow enough as it is, and with its better bulk, it would survive physical hits better, burn the Pokemon, and then be able to roost stop the damage for free. Sure, this doesn't help speed-wise, but it gives another option for potential use. And as for its abilities, we're gonna immediately dump Keen Eye. I couldn't find any attack to add for sheer force as well, but it's still decent enough to keep, and Defiant, well, it's Defiant. I'm not gonna take away an ability that's not too common. We really should bring in something that can differentiate Braviary more from Staraptor. I have 2 ideas here, and I want to hear it from you in the comments section below. What makes more sense? Stamina is the first option, and if we bring up the American excuse, taking hits and fighting back makes a lot of sense. The US has stood its ground many a times, so I can see it fitting. I can also see Moxie fitting as well, since sometimes Americans are just overzealous with their egos. So knowing these 2 options, let me know what you think. With better speed and defense, it should help with a 90 base speed tier and can be used with more bulky sets, especially with Beak Blast crippling the opponent's physical attackers, and is able to gain more in defense every time it's hit if Stamina were to become its ability. Not only that, with better speed, Choice Scarf works a lot better with Moxie 2, creating a deadly late game sweeper. What do you think? I think it's pretty good, but if you have better ideas, I'd like to hear your thoughts on fixing Braviary. Hopefully we can fix it and many others, as there still are a lot of Pokemon who need help in order to be viable once more. If you did enjoy and want to see more from the channel, like the video and subscribe to start the climb today. But as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time back at the top, because you know that's how we do it.